Today I tried modeling a kitchen knife. While working on the fork aerial, I probably chose the wrong workflow, so this time I started with the handle and completed it before moving on the metal blade. The modeling process mainly involves extruding, scaling and grabbing geometry while following a reference image. Unlike the fork, I decided to use a separate cube for the metal part, because I struggled quite a bit with that in the previous model. The trickiest part was the shaping the indentation leading into the knife's cutting edge. That section turned out to be quite challenging. I selected all the faces that needed scaling along the x-axis, and this approach worked much better than I did in the fork model. Of course, I often forgot to select both sides of the mesh in the wireframe mode, which meant I had to correct my work several times. I adjusted the vertices in the upper part of the knife and for the first time experimented with the bevel tool, which added a nice level of detail. Next, I added multiple loop cuts in the area where the sharpened edge should be. I know this isn't the most optimal solution, but at this moment I don't know a faster way to achieve this effect. If you know a better method, feel free to leave a comment below. I firstly added loop cuts in the more extended selections and then inside the indentations so I could use the grab tool to shift the geometry to the left. Afterwards, I added additional loop cuts for further refinement. The metal pins were modeled in the same way as in the fork, but this time I added more detail by beveling the edges. I also extruded the handle further because it became less visible after applying smoothing and the subdivision surface modifier. I refined the extruded areas to make them sharper. The bottom part of the metal selection also required the adjustment, since it is visible from one side of the handle and should appear sharp rather than rounded. Finally, I applied the same materials as before, a metallic material for the blade and a brown material for the handle. After a few minor adjustments, the model was finished. The total work time was around 1 hour, which I considered a good result. As always, thanks for following my journey, keep modeling and see you next time.